Oh, wow. Hello, and, well, good night to Spooky. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Dee Dee. How's it going, everybody? How are you? I am both excited and nervous for more Iwaihime. What's gonna happen today, folks? I don't know. I imagine more body horror, which is not my favorite, but it is the type of horror that does actually get to me. We are strong, we can make it, oh, for sure. It's not... So far, it's definitely been an intense game, but not too bad. The worst moments have literally been, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say the sexual stuff because it wasn't like an eroge sex scene or anything like that, but just Toei coming on with the sexual assault was like, oh, okay, ma'am, please. I have learned when a woman comes at you outside of a dojin saying she wants your kid, it is not a good time. Now, I'm so curious to find out exactly what's going on, because, I mean, a lot of authors tend to write their stories along similar beats, which is how, like, I'm able to predict most stuff written by Uchikoshi. So there's... Ryukishi loves his curses, and he loves his curses that also have like a dual explanation. Though this time I think it is really just straight up a curse. I mean, like, I guess spoilers for Higurashi, cover your ears for 5 seconds if you don't really want to hear. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Everyone's ears covered? Alright. Basically, in Higurashi, you find out that, like, there is a supernatural component to it, but, like, for a large part of it, there was fun science experiment reasons for everything. Okay. Kept the silence just in case people were uncovering their ears still. But yeah, so this time, I think it's just straight up supernatural stuff going on. And I don't know Umineko as well as I do Higurashi. But I think Umineko was also mostly magic, but there was a little bit of non-magical explanation, like conspiracy, body double stuff or something like that. This is what happens when you play these visual novels years and years and years ago, and now it's like, I remember the greater picture, I remember the broad strokes, not the rest. But yes, I hope everyone had a good day. I had a good laugh earlier. I did end up going, so for the people who follow on Twitter, I did post that I had a really bad cough because of allergies. I did end up going home halfway through the day to finish like my work day at home because I didn't take my medicine, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home, take my meds, and finish the work day this way. So my cough's good, but the really strong cough, I'm like, oh great. I'm like, show now. I'm gonna turn it to the blob. This is great. On top of, glad that helped, yeah. I felt bad because it's like, whoops. VTube Studio went a little wonky for a second there. I think we're good. But yeah, I felt a little bad leaving partway through the workday because technically, you know, manager's off sick as it is, so it's like, who do I ask permission to leave? But I'm like, I am coughing so hard. I'm scared I'm gonna like throw up, so I'm like, I think I should go. I think I should go. Cause ragweed season is rough. That's sort of the funny thing when you have different allergies in different seasons. Your symptoms can be different depending on what pollen it is. What was it? Hi, Drakon! How is everyone? Good! I'm good. But yeah, I think ragweed season is almost over. I mean, as long as it starts getting consistently colder here, the pollen's gonna drop off. No, not weather. We want pollen forecast, because, you know, allergies. Pollen report. There we go. Oh, okay. So pollen's low, but mold is high. That would do it. That would also do it. I'm allergic to mold as well. But I mean, mold fucks up everyone. I guess it just fucks me up more than other people. But that's fine. But yeah, so we got Iwaihime today. What else have I been up to today? Mostly just game stuff. I'm still... Oh yeah, I told my crew this, so I'll tell you guys this. There's one more month until United Fight. There's your 1 month warning for the people who want to grind for United Fight but haven't started yet. You've got about 34 days. Because it starts on November 7th, I believe. So, I think most people who care about United Fight have already started. They were already starting while the last United Fight was happening, but just in case. Just in case. I'm out here farming uncaps for Seophon and Neon. I hate the 30 weapon requirement. Ugh. I'm at like 25 for Seophon. I want to die. Hi, Jambola! Ugh, big stretch. You need one more Mark II. Oh god, the Mark IIs. I have one Siete sword fully uncapped, no, that's normal, and another almost fully uncapped, but I don't have any Mark IIs yet. I have Mark II, I have like the transcended version of like the Dragon Fang, like Siegfried's. But not Siete. I do love that me and my crew had a good laugh because I'm the only one who's doing revans. So when I got because Siete also has the equivalent of like, oh, this weapon will activate extra effects when the aura is over 280%. It's clearly a sword, but it's labeled as an axe. And I'm like, axe? my entire crew just repeated, like, it was like a broken record. Axe? 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 So that's the anti-sword. I'm like, no, it's the axe. What? They hold you the blade and hit you with the handle? God. I need to equip it as a main hand. Just to see, like, just to see the animation. And it's like, clearly that's a sword, but okay. They were like, listen. So, they were in, like, the boardroom discussing the next raids and stuff. They're like, listen. Let's make it an Eternal. One of the new raids. Okay. Let's go with Siete/Theophon, because he's technically the leader. Okay. So obviously, he's gonna have a sword drop. Okay. But we can't just have sword drops, even though, you know, he's, the strongest swordsman in the skies. That's his whole thing. Wait. So we're gonna make one an axe. Why? It looks pretty cool with shield sword. Oh, true. Nice. I have skins on everything right now. I've forgotten what the basic classes look like at this point. Oh no, I just needed to change it up. I'm a fashionista. I get bored looking at the same outfit for 12 hours a day. 'Cause the grind doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And you know, you tend to use the same classes, so... Alright, I am gonna get the game going because I cannot go until 10:30. Tonight's... I can go until 10 though. I did shower before stream, so I have to shower after, ergo I can't go until like the very last minute before. I'm like, if I don't sleep now, I am not waking up on time. But yeah, I will get the game going. First one to join, very nice. Alright, so... for the folks who missed it last time, we finished Chapter 1, which was entitled Noroi Hime, Cursed Princess. That was Toei's chapter. That ended with her, I thought she slit our throat, but no, she just stabbed us in the throat with a box cutter. So we ended up surviving. No more toes? We hope not, but who knows? Now it's fingers. Now it's like torture and chopping off fingers. But yeah, so... Toei ended up killing herself. She tried to kill us, but like she failed, but when we woke up, the entire city was on fire for some reason. And then everything ended, and now it's like an alternate timeline where we decided to listen to Tsubakiko and not talk with Toei, so the city's not on fire and we've lived through that. The school nurse invited us to join her club, which is called the Local Community Service Club. And through that, we met a girl named Kanae Minobe, who we met briefly in the hallway. She has, like, waking nightmares or something like that, where she's Alice in Nightmare Land instead of Alice in Wonderland. So she's playing Shesh, is what it's called, with the Shesh King. And which I realized is just chess being pronounced with a really bad lisp, so it's just the Chess King. But to get chess pieces on the board, she has to sacrifice different body parts. So it's good times. It was first time in a while that like a game's actually got to me. Because just the way it took like 15 minutes for all of her fingers and stuff to get chopped off. So just having to read the text and click through all of that, I was like, oof. Not great. But yeah, so that's where we are now. We're supposed to go do fun community service. Surely nothing horrible will happen. Probably, well, hopefully not as horrible as with Toei. But who the heck knows? Who the heck knows with, you know, all of this? So, alright, here we go. Onwards. Oh, and you need the sound. You're thinking about Kurokami? Right. Toei is technically in this club too, but, like, apparently she doesn't really interact with anyone, so far we're still safe. Yeah. I don't know why, but I just can't get her out of my mind for some reason. Boys sure do love the long black hair look, huh? I mean, it's a nice look. Yamamoto Nadeshiko. And if you don't know what Yamato Nadeshiko is, it's supposed to be the traditional, ideal woman, like who's really good at really good cook, very gentle, long, straight black hair, blah 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 blah. Like, in English we'd call it like a classic beauty kind of thing. That's what the Yamato Nadeshiko technically is. If that's your thing, maybe I'll change up my hair too. Rule number 1, Kiko. Never change your hair for a dude. Because chances are, things won't work out with you and the boy. And then you're going to have to live with whatever you've done to yourself. I mean, growing out the hair and then chopping it off is one thing, but most girls who keep their hair short really don't like the hassle of long hair, so growing it out would just be a waste. Save your calories, girl. No, I love your hair. Oh, thank you. Quite the Casanova, eh, Suzumun? Straight up called him a lady killer in the Japanese dialogue. We've nabbed a real catch this time. I guess he likes pigtails. That is also fair, though. Pigtails are nice. There's a coworker I used to have that even though she's like in her 40s with teenage kids, would still put her hair in pigtails, and I was like, you know what? Power to you. You do what you want. Though I do wish there was a way to wear pigtails without looking like I'm trying to be 7 or something, because I have a baby face. So it's like, can I wear pigtails and look cute? Yes. Do I look like a giant 6-year-old? Yes. Literally, you don't realize how completely off topic. You don't realize how tiny elementary school kids are until you're actually amongst them. I was trying to cut through a schoolyard to get back to the apothecary one day. And all of the kids at the school were coming back in from recess. And I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, I'll just slip right on through. I'll totally blend in. Like, because I was like, I don't know if I'm technically allowed to cut through this school. It's one of those things where, like, you know, the schoolyard is technically a park. So I'm like, I know I'm allowed in the park. I don't know if I'm allowed to, like, cut through, like, their actual playground or whatever. But I'm like, I look young. I'll blend in. They'll think I'm, like, an 8th grader. And then as I'm passing all these kids, I'm like, why are they all so short? Even seeing 18-year-olds in a bar look like 12-year-olds at this point? Oh god, honestly. I've said it before, but I have a brother who is... Oh god. The age difference is so big, sometimes I have to think about what exactly the age difference is, but he's 13 years older than me, and he did have kids as a teenager, but he was still pretty young, so... I remember starting university or something, and... No, I was finishing university, and I was trying to play keep away with one of my nephews, and I realized even though he looks like he's 8 years old, he was as tall as I was, and I'm like, holy shit. Walking through schools because staff think I'm a student? Oh god, yeah. I don't know if I've told this story on stream once, but I haven't drank alcohol in a number of years, purely because, like, medication I take interacts badly with alcohol, and I'm like, you know, it's probably better for me not to drink this stuff anyway, but I remember, so it would have been, like, probably 3 years ago? I was at, the liquor store buying a drink, because in Ontario, for the most part, most liquor and alcoholic beverages, you have to go to a specific store to buy them. Like, grocery stores now have a small selection, but, like, you know, if you want, like, you know, wine or, like, sake or, like, anything like that, you still gotta go to the liquor store. So I was there, buying, like, 3 cans of alcoholic apple cider, because it was cheap, and it was like, I was gonna have, like, you know, a gaming night or something where I was just gonna have snacks and drink or whatever. And I swear to god, I thought they were going to challenge me for having a fake ID, because they were looking at my passport for so long. And I was like, what? And, like, every time I went to the liquor store after that, it felt like they were taking longer and longer to look at this. Even when I went to a different liquor store, and then it finally hit me, they're probably looking at me, and then they see my date of birth, and they're like, there's no way she's actually that old. So they're trying to be like, the picture is perfect. Nothing else looks fake, but the age is weird. And I'm like, oh god. Like, I remember going to a convention, and I think I was the only one at the table who got carded, and Iduna's partner was like, I'm surprised. Usually, you know, when it's like at a convention and it's like, you know, a big group of like 20-somethings, no one gets carded. I'm like, yeah, but Iduna's partner and I have similar, have like a similar facial structure. I'm like, yeah, but I'm sitting right near you, and we look alike, so for all they know, you're a 20-something-year-old who brought their, like, 15-year-old sister to the convention. And now she's having dinner with all your friends. He's like, oh, you got a point. It's nice to look young, but yeah, it's like every time I go to the dentist, they're always like, wait, how old are you? I'm like, yes, that is correct. And my dentist at one point was like, oh, I was going to be really worried about the wear and tear on your teeth, but given that you grind your teeth and also your age, it's not as bad. I'm like, wow. He's like, he was like, what's this 18-year-old doing to her teeth? 8:30 on a Sunday. Ew. No bueno. There wasn't a cloud in the sky on Sunday. There was an attempt to be nice, yeah. Almost like the weather itself was blessing my first foray into community service. We were standing in front of Susuda Station. Though I'd gone to the station several times before, this was my first time coming for a reason other than traveling.
Oh, 来た来た。やっぱ男子がいるとシャチ運ぶも立派な感じになるね。
There you are, man! Having boys makes the LCSC actually feel like a bona fide club.
おはようございます、先輩。
Good morning, senpai!
こういうこと初めてなんで、ちょっと緊張してます。
Ooh, I'm a little nervous. I haven't done anything like this before.
緊張なんかしないよ。ただだらーっと軽いだけ。
Oh, don't sweat it. Though I guess there is a bit of sweat involved. Ha ha ha.
でも募金活動なんて俺やったことないぜ。
I've never done a fundraiser before either.
黒髪さんは欠席かな。布川さんは仕事で忙しいと連絡がありました。
Guess Kurokawa was sitting this out, and you know Kawa said she's busy with work.
仕事で忙しい。ススコってバイト禁止じゃなかったっけ？
Work? I thought part-time jobs were banned at Susuhai.
リリアはご多忙な人だから。まあそのうちラッキーだったら会えるよ。
Well, Lillian's a busy bee. If you're lucky, you'll meet her sooner or later, though. Lillian? She, is one of her parents a foreigner?
はい。ではまずは駅長さんに挨拶に行くわよ。
Okay, then let's introduce ourselves to the station master first. Gotta get permission and all that stuff, I guess. Today, we were holding a fundraiser in front of Susuda Station. We introduced ourselves to the station master, then took the collection boxes, billboards, and banners out of the storeroom.
シャチ運ぶも人数が増えましたので、今日は二手に分かれて活動するわよ。
We got more members this time, so let's split into 2 groups.
普段は私と先輩の二人くらいしかいないからね。
Normally it's just you. It's just me, Nobe, and I, you see.
人数が多いのはいいことだよ。
It's always good to have more people.
では、南口と北口の二手に分かれて募金をしましょう。
Ah, perfect. One team will raise money at the south entrance, while the other will do the same at the north entrance. And I'm assuming this isn't like Shinjuku Station, where you can make a whole horror game out of how hard it is to find your frickin' platforms.
二手に分かれるなら募金額で勝負してよな。
If we're in 2 groups, let's make this a challenge. The team that raises the most wins.
すせら、 俺たちのグレートな稼ぎでビビらせてやろうぜ。
Susuhara, let's shock the world with our great fundraising skills.
タマスズムンこっち来て。
Whoa! Time out, Suzumun, come over here.
そうでキコッチはそっち行って。そう
Now, Kiki, you go over there. Yeah, like that. Kiki must have been her nickname for Kiko. How cute. As per Minobe's instructions, we were split into male-female pairs. I was with Minobe, while Natsu was with Kiko.
やっぱり男女ペアの方が彩りがあっていいわよね。
There we go. Having boy-girl pairs definitely makes this more interesting. I guess. Doing community service to find a boyfriend? Is that what's going on?
先輩、よろしくお願いします。
Let's do our best, Minobe.
まったり行こ
Yeah, no need to get too enthusiastic here.
う。よーし、じゃあアツタくん、私たちもファイトだよ。
Okay, Atsuta, let's knock this one way out of the park.
おう、やったるぜ。勝負だぜ、スサラ。
Now you're talking, it's on, Suzuhara!
受けて立つよ。お互い頑張ろう。
Challenge accepted. Let's both try our hardest.
じゃ負けた方はジュース1本おごるとかどう？
Okay, then how about the losers have to buy the winner's drinks?
いいっすね。そうじゃなきゃ燃えてこねえぜ。
Sounds good to me. Can't have a bet without some stakes.
でも南口と北口で勝負になるかな？
But will it really be a fair contest between the two entrances?
キコチ、それはいいことに気づいたね。
You're sharp, Kiki. The south side of the station, where we were now, was by far the busier one. Whoever took this side would... Okay, I think we're good. Thank you. I meant to mention I was having issues with the internet earlier. I had to, like, full-on reset. Like, I had to do, like, power cycle and reset the modem multiple times before it finally started working again. All my equipment's fairly new, but maybe I finally have to replace the coax cable. There was a little spotty all day today, but like this morning, but then it just got real bad. I'm like, oh shit! The classic yes, alright. Hopefully you guys didn't miss too much. They were just talking about how they were gonna make the fundraiser a challenge, and whoever wins has to buy whoever loses has to buy the winners their, like, drinks. So whoever ruled, the last I heard was okay. So pretty much, you guys didn't miss much. I think I realized the internet went down just in time before you guys missed too much. So yeah, literally, Kanae was just saying that the south side of the station is much busier than the north, so it's an unfair advantage. So whoever rules the south entrance rules the duel. We saw the bed and drinks wager, so nothing much. Okay, cool. Why don't we decide with rock, paper, scissors?
このじゃんけんに負けたらバッドバッドだね。
I'll be real bad for whoever loses, though.
募金勝負ってよりじゃんけん勝負も同然ってことかな。
Yeah, on second thought, I guess that would make it more of a rock, paper, scissors contest than a fundraising contest. What if you guys, like, rotated, like, every hour or something? The winner would take the south entrance while the loser would be stuck with the north entrance. It really was no better than a rock, paper, scissors competition over drinks.
それじゃあ確かにちょいと面白くないね。
You're right. Maybe that wouldn't be fun at all.
いいよ。ヒコチーとナッチーは南口にしたらいい。
Fine then. Kiki, Natty, you guys can have the south entrance.
おっしゃー、このデュエルもらったぜ。
Oh yeah, this duel's ours.
いいんですか、先輩。
You sure about this, senpai?
いいっていいって。仮にもオイラは部長だからね。
Uh-huh. No problem. I am the president. Even if only on paper.
その程度のハンデがないと面白くないっしょ。
There wouldn't be any thrills without a handicap like this. Oh, 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 oh.
さすがは部長ですね。懐が深いです。
You're so generous. You really are the president, huh?
でも北口でも頑張ればきっと勝負になると思います。
But if we work hard enough at the north entrance, I'm sure it'll be a fair competition.
よくぞ言ったぜ。だがグレイトな男だから俺は侮らないぜ。
Those are some fighting words. But you're a great man, so I won't underestimate you.
ならお昼に南と北を交代にするとか。
Then why don't we switch entrances after noon or something?
そんな気遣いいらないって。
Nope, no thanks.
北口でも勝てちゃうってこと。オイラとスズムンで証明してみせるって。
We can wipe the floor with you even at the north entrance. Susan Moon and I'll prove it. You'll see.
それぞれ頑張りましょう。
Okay, good luck to the both of you.
お天気がいいから熱中症に気をつけて。適宜持参の水筒で水分補給してね。
It's warm today, so make sure you don't get dehydrated. We brought along canteens, so feel free to use them.
生徒が熱中症、死亡、問われる責任、懲戒免職、死、そんなの嫌。
I love this speech pattern of hers. A student gets dehydrated. Death. Responsibility, question, disciplinary, discharge, death. Anything but that.
じゃあ募金勝負開始。
Okie dokie, let the fundraiser
さあ
begin.
スズムン行こう行こう。登り場だと看板持ってくれる？
Let's get a move on, Suzumun. Can you carry the banner and billboard?
たったく私たちも頑張ろう。
Let's give it our best, Atsuta.
おう、セサラ、やってやろうぜ。
Really love Kanae's hairstyle? Me too. It's very cute. And I like, that her hair ornaments, they kind of remind me of kanzashi, which are like the more traditional style ornaments you see like people wear with like yukata and stuff.
でもって私たちの奉仕活動が新聞の取材を受けちゃったりして。
Maybe our efforts will get us in the newspaper? Ah, there it is. Motive.
素晴らしきシャチ運ぶ。顧問は美人教師。テレビなんかに出ちゃったりして。いやー、着ていく服がないわ。
The wonderful LCSC, the beautiful club advisor, and then I make my big TV debut. No, I don't have anything to wear. Miss Hinagata wriggled around with an embarrassed look on her face. Minobe and Kiko were making their way to their positions as though they'd been through this a million times before. Determined to do our best, Atsuta and I parted ways, then met with our respective teammates.
じゃあ登り旗を組み立てようかね。わかる？
Okay then, let's put the banner together first. Do you know how? So we've got a bento shop behind them and a soba shop. Yeah, the north entrance looks like it's backs onto a residential neighborhood, while the south entrance is commercial. So, yeah, the foot traffic will be different.
こんな感じですか?
Like this?
上出来上出来
Yeah, that's perfect. The banner fluttered in the wind, reading aid to children orphaned in car accidents. Essentially, we were helping children who'd lost their parents in car accidents. The money from this fundraiser would be used to financially support them.
今日まで健やかに過ごせたのは両親のおかげだし。
My parents are the reason I've been able to have such a peaceful life.
それをよく噛み締めて感謝しながら頑張りたいな。
When I think about that, I can't help but be more grateful to them. It makes me want to really put my best foot forward here.
交通事故に限らずいろんな理由で親がいなくなる
Well,
子供がいるよ
kids have lost their parents over more than just car accidents.
そのいずれも子供側からしたらちょっとした不運の問題
To these kids, it was all a matter of bad luck.
両親に感謝できるってこと自体幸運にたくさん恵まれてたと自覚するべきだろうね
The fact that you have parents to thank should make you realize just how lucky you are. And I mean, people who still have their parents alive don't necessarily have good relationships because, sometimes parents are really shitty.
はい、先輩。その通りだと思います。
Well, you're certainly right about that. At first glance, Minobe seemed a bit too carefree for her own good. But that was all on the surface, and she was in fact a good, considerate person. It was so generous of her to give Kiko and Natsu such a huge advantage like that. Oops. Again. Maybe we'd end up losing this competition. But it would all be worth it just to see this side of Minobe.
何を勘違いしてんのスズム
Suzumoon, you've got the wrong idea, don't you?
何のことですか?
Huh? What do you mean?
この勝負ジュースをかけてんだよペットボトルだったら160円もする大金勝負
We've got drinks on the line here. That's 160 yen per bottle. That ain't cheap. I guess $2 is a lot when you're in high school and you don't have a job.
9本入りスティックパンが100均で買えてさらに60円も余る大金
You know how much that is? You could buy a 9-pack of breadsticks from a 100 yen shop with that money and still have 60 yen left. Then why don't we just go buy drinks from the 100 yen store?
スティックパンが9本あれば朝食とお昼が両方賄えちゃうんだよ
I'm not really one that should talk, but please don't eat just breadsticks for 2 meals.
よくわかんないけど、すみません。
I don't really understand, but I'm sorry?
オイラはね勝ちを譲ったつもりもハンデを背負った気も全くないわけ
Listen up. I didn't throw the match, and this is no handicap either.
勝てると思ったからこの北口を選んだのだよ
I chose the north entrance so we could win.
この北口で勝てる。
You think we can win on this side? The north entrance was a bit of a ghost town compared to the south. Sure, there were still people, but it wasn't nearly as busy. If fundraising was fishing, then we had cast our lines in a place with few fish, and that didn't seem wise. But Minobe was saying such matters were trivial. Right, this wasn't fishing. We were up against the humans, and this was a fundraiser meant to appeal to their conscience. If we gave it everything we had, then we'd touch their hearts and get them to donate.
ということですね。さすが先輩です。尊敬しました。
That's your plan, isn't it? That's incredible, Senpai. I'm really impressed.
よし。となったら精一杯張り切って大きな声を出すぞ。
Oh no. I can feel the cringe. But just as I was about to ask for donations, Minobe held her hand out.
すずまあまあここはオイラに任せて
Easy there, Tiger. Leave this to me.
今は伏せて待つとき頃合いまでしばし待つのだよ
Right now, let's just kick back and wait. Our time will come.
わかりました。
Oh. Okay. If there was a trick to winning and she chose in the north entrance because of it, then what could it be? Whatever it was, I would just leave it to Minobe.
うん
頃合いっていつまで待てばいいんですか？
How long will it be until our time?
焦るな若者よもうじきなのだ
Relax, kid. We're almost there.
もうじき。そういえば少し人が増えたような。
We are? Now that you mention it, it is a bit more crowded now.
そろそろサークル入場時間だからね
Those groups should be showing up any second now. She specifically said circle. So she's referring to clubs then. Or like doujinshi groups.
今なんて言いました？
Huh? What did you say?
すすだ勤労会館へお越しのお客様こちらの路地からまっすぐですよ
Excuse me, if you're heading for the Susuda Labor Hall, it's right this way. Minobe's shouts caught the attention of some young girls coming out at the north entrance. A group of 3 girls rolling suitcases gave... Oh god, it's Kamaket! There's a convention or something happening! If they have the rolling suitcases, that means they've got cosplay or they've got art, like, doujin in those books, in those suitcases. A group of 3 girls rolling suitcases along gave a small bow and thanked her. Moments later, several more young people dragging suitcases and carts came out of the north entrance, one after another. It did seem like they were Susuda residents. They all passed by and thanked Minobe for showing them the way.
すすだ勤労会館へお越しの皆様お釣りの準備は十分でしょうか
For those of you going to the Susuda Labor Hall, do you have enough change ready?
開幕ダッシュで満札を出す御人が何人も連続したらすぐにお釣りが切れちゃいますよ
Once the event starts and everyone's paying with bigger and bigger bills, you'll be out of change in no
お
time.
釣りのトラブルで列が伸びちゃったりしたら準備会に目をつけられないとも限りません
The preparatory committee will be on you in a heartbeat if your lack of change holds your lines up too long.
楽しいサークル活動のためにもぜひお釣りをちゃんと用意しておきましょう
Make sure you have enough change so you can carry out your sales in peace. Oh my god. Is that how she's getting donations? She's gonna make change for them?
何の話ですか？
What are you talking about?
いいから
Shh.
すずのは黙って見ておればいいのだ
Just watch and learn.
この辺にコンビニってありますか
Is there a convenience store nearby?
勤労会館に行く途中にはありませんよお買い物は駅構内の売店でどうぞ
Not on the way to the labor hall, there isn't. You're welcome to do your shopping around the station, of course.
でも両替目的のお買い物にはご注意をそういうお客さんが多いんで渋い顔をされますよ
Oh, but you'll get some pretty dirty looks if you're just shopping to get change. Lots of people will be doing that.
どうしようそういえば私お釣りの用意忘れてた
Oh, jeez. What am I gonna do? I totally forgot about change.
この辺り
Are there banks or places with ATMs nearby?
日曜日だしね。すすだには全然そういうのはないですね。
It's Sunday. There's no place like that open in all of Susuda.
ですがご安心を。こんなこともあろうかとサークル様専用のお釣りセットをご用意。
She's a scammer. She's a schemer. But worry not. We anticipated this and have prepared a special deal just for your groups.
ほんのちょっぴりの善意のご寄付をいただくだけで1000円札から500円玉、100円玉までいろいろと取り揃えておりますよ。
For just a tiny charitable donation, we can break those bills for you. Oh my god. She was prepared. She did her research. Minobe opened the bag on her shoulder, revealing multiple bank envelopes. They were neatly sorted into 1,000 yen bills, 500 yen coins, and 100 yen coins.
じゃあ寄付しますんで両替お願いします。
Okay, here's my donation. Change, please.
この人両替してくれるって。
This girl says she'll break our bills for us.
私もちょっとお願いしようかな。
Oh, maybe I should do it just in case. We had a crowd of young men and women lining up before I could even process what was happening. Everyone generously tossed us 100 yen coins. 10 yen coins were generally the standard for fundraisers, meaning that just one of them was worth 10 ordinary people. In other words, you might as well have had dozens of donators lining up. Damn, people are just throwing like pennies? Yikes. Because 100 yen coin is closest to $1 in US or Canadian currency, so a 10 yen coin would literally be... I guess technically it's a dime? But it feels more like a penny. Like in terms of purchasing power? Senpai, this is just like an exchange counter.
今日この人たちが来ることを知っていて、あらかじめ用意をしてたんですか?
Did you prepare all this knowing all these people would be coming today?
人数が増えたから二手に分かれて募金しようってなるのはよく聞いたのだ。
I suspected we'd be split into two teams now that we have more members.
熱血感のバトル好きなナッチーの性格もすでに計算済みさ。
Knowing Natty, I also figured he'd be raring for a competition. Natty was probably Natsu's nickname. Minobe sure had a knack for those.
北口と南口に分かれて勝負だと言えば絶対に乗ってくると思ったのだよ。
I had a hunch he'd suggest a challenge once he knew we'd be splitting up.
それで今日勤労会館で何かあることを調べて、その人たちが両替を望んでいることを事前に知って。
So you looked into what the labor hall was doing today and learned these people would be wanting to swap for change.
ジュース代がかかっておる。おいらは160円のためならそのくらいは朝飯前なのだ。
How did you get all of those banknotes, though? That is so much money. Like she's got so much money, but cheapskate. Damn. I didn't know whether to say she was well prepared or just plain stingy. I mean, considering she thought 160 yen was a lot of money.
はーい、一般入場の皆さん、こんにちは。すすだ勤労会館への道はこちらですよ。
Hi, welcome buyers. The Susuda Labor Hall is right this way.
ですが、両替のために1万円札でのお買い物はやめましょう。ご近所迷惑になりますよ。
But don't go shopping just to exchange your 10,000 yen bills. You'll just cause problems for our local businesses.
近所迷惑になれば会場がイベントに貸してくれなくなってしまいますよ。
And if our whole neighborhood complains, then the labor hall won't host the event anymore.
1万円札を出されたらサークルさんも大弱り。好きなサークルに迷惑をかけちゃうのです。
The people you're buying from will have a hard time with those 10,000 yen bills too. You don't want to make life difficult for your favorite groups, do you?
皆さんの楽しいイベントを守るために徹夜や迷惑両替などはやめましょう。
Don't stay out all night or bother people for change to protect the event you love. American/Canadian otaku could learn from this.
ああ、両替お願いします。
Hello, Velmo. Oh, change please.
募金しますから1000円札お願いします。
Here's my donation. Can I have some 100 yen bills?
何の行列？スタッフの人？
What's with this line? Are they staff?
無関係みたい。両替するなら募金してほしいんだって。
Doesn't seem like it. Sounds like they're giving out change to anyone who donates.
募金無視して次のイベント落選したりとかしたら怖いから入れてこう。
I don't want to get the event shut down or something because we ignored the fundraiser. Let's donate too, damn. We're rounding up a massive crowd. I did feel like this was how a proper fundraiser was conducted, but it wasn't like we were tricking them or anything. I mean, you sort of are. Minobe just happened to bring along some change, and these people just happened to want it. They were actually donating out of the goodness of their hearts. Yeah, that was all. Apparently, she known ahead of time that there'd be some kind of event nearby where a lot of young people would show up. And since she knew there'd be lots of people going through the north entrance today, she also knew they'd want change.
募金っていうのはただ立って呼びかけをすればいいだけだと思ってました。
You already thought the fundraising just involved calling out to people and waiting for them to donate.
でもそれ以上に周到な準備がいるってことですね。勉強になりました。
But I guess it also takes a lot of prior preparation, huh? That was enlightening.
そりゃよかったね。あ、そっちの封筒から100円玉を5枚よろしくね。
Glad to hear it. Oh, could you get me 5 100 yen coins from that envelope?
でもこんなに若い人たちが大勢来るようなどんなイベントがあるんでしょうね。
What kind of event attracts this many young people? She's the kind of person who goes on to become a Saw villain? Oh my god. Yikes.
艦砲射撃よーいドン。知らない？
Bombardment and boom! You ever heard that one?
いえ。
No.
まあそのイベント目当てに今日大勢がこのスーパー北口さんにやってきてるわけよ。
Well, there's a ton of people coming through Mr. Super North entrance here to get to it.
はあ、93式酸素魚雷満載で重いわ。
Type 93 torpedoes? Is this a Concole event?
よくわかんないけど今日はすっごく勉強になりました。
I don't really know what you're talking about, but today's been very enlightening. It's been a long time since I heard Concole. I was just taking a guess because I'm like, all these military terms and bombardments and booms and stuff and Type 93 torpedoes, and the fact that they're clearly otaku going to an event, what with all their suitcases and like buyers and sellers, so I'm like, is this? Well, we won't know for sure, but apparently in Japan it's a lot more common to have specific conventions just for certain series or even like certain pairings. Compared to like, you know, anime cons we have where it's just literally everything under the sun. People sure are strange creatures. If they see a crowd, they join right in. Thanks to the large crowd of people going to the bombardment event, even people who weren't stopped by to donate. Bombardment event. As a result, the now deserted north entrance had netted us enough donations to weigh down our collection boxes. All thanks to Minobe's scrupulous preparations. Though I was a bit surprised at just how much money she'd brought along for the exchanges. Girl is just looking to get robbed. I always walk around with all my money. Never know when an adventure's gonna start after all, or you're gonna have to run away from home. Adventures are different from those trips you plan and mark on your calendars, right? You never know when you're gonna get whisked away to some faraway nation. Huh, you're prepared for everything, aren't you? 500 euros! Oof. Yeah. I used to, when I would carry cash for conventions and stuff, or like trips, I would split the money between like my purse, my suitcase, and like my coat pockets and stuff. That way if I lost one, I wouldn't lose all my money. You must be rich. Me? Minobe cackled with surprise as if to say don't be ridiculous. It's the other way around. I'm super poor, so I've made it a habit to always save money. Because you never know when an adventure will start. Okay, knife I get. How do you fit a lamp in there? I mean, technically, from my understanding, the swords ban act just prevents carrying blades longer than a certain length. Technically, a knife is still okay. Minobe opened her bag, revealing various tools that you take camping and such. So this is your adventure bag, huh? Yep, I don't look the part, but I'm actually an adventurer princess, for I am Alice of Wonderland. Not Alice in Wonderland? Ah! Righto, my name's Kane, right? So Alice comes from the E in there. You call me Suzumun, so I figured you'd be Minoben or Kani or something like that. The naming conventions for princesses are a bit different than commoners. Then I'll call you Alice from now on. No, don't! It's my name in the other world! dragged into it if you started calling me that.
向こうの世界って
What do you mean by that world? She means what it means what it means.
胡蝶の夢って知ってる？
Have you heard about the butterfly dream?
自分が蝶の夢を見たのかそれとも蝶が自分という夢を見ているのかって話ですよね。
You mean the question of whether you're a human dreaming of being a butterfly, or if you're a butterfly dreaming of being a human?
そしてそれはどちらも正しいし確かめる術もない。
And how there's no real way of telling which is right?
ならばどちらが夢で現実かなどわざわざ考えることは馬鹿らしいというような話だったと思います。
To me, that means it's foolish to question whether something is real or a dream.
そうそう。どちらが夢か、どちらが現実かなんて誰にもわかんないんだって。
Exactly. No one knows which is which.
なら人は誰しも二つの現実で生きてるってことになるわけ。
Which means people live in two realities.
そうですね。夢と現実の区別がないならそれはどちらも現実ということになります。
Right. If there's no difference between dreams and reality, then they could both be real.
そういうこと。つまりここの現実ではオイラは見延かなえ3年生シャチホコ部の部長。
Exactly. So in this reality, I'm Kanae Minobe, a high school senior and president of the LCS.
向こうの現実でのオイラはエリス。見延県王国のお姫様なの。
Meanwhile, in that reality, I'm Ellis, princess of the Arcane Minobe Kingdom.
見延県って
It took me a second to get it. Arcane, as in arcane, but with her name instead. She must have come up with the name of the fictional Arcane Minobe Kingdom based on that. Minobe really was funny. That butterfly quote is how Persona 1 starts off? Oh yeah, that I knew. And the blue butterflies we see in every Persona game are tied to... oh... Philistine? But he doesn't... he was like the original... he was like sort of the original antagonist slash like helper, but he doesn't show up in anything anymore. Which is too bad. It's why I want them to bring back 1 and 2, because even though it was closer to Shin Megami Tensei in terms of gameplay, the settings of 1 and 2 were very, very interesting. And you could be a Game Boy! That's the real tragedy of the newer Persona games. In Persona 2, you could actually have a queer romance. And then they got scared when they did 3, 4, and 5. She regaled me with stories of her adventures in the kingdom of her dreams. From my point of view, she was telling me about things she'd imagined, but she saw it as a bona fide other world. So to her, those were adventures she'd really gone on. We've regressed, we sure have. I mean, there's that famous, there's those famous audio files of Yosuke in English confessing to the P4 protagonist. But whether no one's ever been able to actually prove whether or not those were real or not, because obviously NDAs and stuff you can't say. Those were the though those stories were based off Alice in Wonderland, they were very creative, unique, and absurd. I could listen to them forever.
まあオイラはお姫様だから王国を外敵から守らなきゃな ならない時もあるわ
Well,
け
I
さ
am a princess, so I have a duty to protect my kingdom from invaders. Whoops.
それで最近はチェチュの王様とかいうのがしつこくてね
The latest one is a rather persistent bastard called the Shesh King.
セチという国の王様ですか？
So he's the king of a country called Shesh?
あーちょっと違うチェチュっていうチェスのイカれたみたいのがあるんだよ
Not exactly. Sesh is like this super messed up version of chess.
そのセチというゲームに強い王様ってことですね。
Then he's this king who's really good at chess?
そうそうんでチェチュでオイラに勝負を挑んでくるわけ
Bingo! Well, so anyway, he's always challenging me to these chess
オイ
matches.
ラはそんなゲームには興味ないんだけどね
Honestly, I don't have any interest in that stupid game.
付き合わないと暴れるめんどくさいやつでさ
But he freaks out and throws a tantrum if I don't play with him.
その上負けたら家族に加われとか冗談じゃないっつうの
What's more, he'll say all this gross stuff about how he'll add me to his family if I lose. Ew.
まあ遊んでやれば機嫌を良くしていろいろとくれたりもするんだけどね
Well, playing does put him in a better mood and he does give me stuff. Okay, so the Sesh Cane is totally some metaphor for like her stepfather or something like that.
でも先輩の望まないゲームですよね。じゃあやっぱり悪いやつです。
But you don't want to play, right? That makes him pretty terrible in my eyes.
僕がその場にいたら帰ってくださいってきっぱりと言うのに。
If I were there, I'd tell him to go back to where he came from.
スズムンは優しいな
Aw, you're such a nice guy, Suzumun.
そうですか？嫌なことや悪いことには毅然と対応すべきだと言われてきたので。
You think so? I was just taught to stand up for what's right, that's all.
誰に
And who taught you that?
お父さんです。しつけには厳しい人なんで。
My dad. He's strict when it comes to discipline.
そっか
I see.
厳しいけどきっといいお父さんなんだね
He's strict, but I bet he's a real awesome dad, huh?
スズムンがこんなにいい子なんだから間違いないよ
It must be thanks to him that you turned out so good.
僕はそのいい子を目指して修行中のまだ普通の子です。
No, I'm still just a normal guy, working towards being that good someday.
なるほどねナッチーが君のことをグレートって呼ぶのよくわかるわ
I get it now. Natty's right to call you great all the time.
私の不思議の国の話をこんなに真面目に聞いてくれて
You took my stories about Wonderland seriously.
その上こんなに真剣に相槌を打ってくれたの君が初めてだよ
Everyone else is all uh-huh or whatever about them, but you were really listening. Minobe smiled. Though she was always smiling, it was the first time I'd seen her smile like that.
仮に夢の話だとしても、先輩の不思議の国の話はとても面白いです。
Even if they're all dreams, your stories about Wonderland are very interesting.
夢日記って言うんでしたっけ？そんな感じで日々記してまとめたら面白い気がします。
You know those dream diary things? I bet it'd be fun if you wrote about them every day.
ああ夢日記は縁起が悪いからとかなんとかで母にはダメって言われてたんだけどね
Oh, I can't have a dream diary. My mom says they're bad luck.
オイラにとっては夢じゃないもう一つの現実なんだから
Besides, they're not dreams to me. They're another world.
だからほら
Plus, take a look at this. Minobe took a well-used notebook out of her bag. The cover read, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
どんなことが書いてあるんですか？見たいな。
What kind of stories do you have in there? I'd love to read them.
絶対に嫌だよ恥ずかしい
Natsukashi! You know, they put the notebook back in her bag. But a bashful smile played on her lips.
そのセチュの王様とかいうやつ
You're fighting against the Sesh King right now, right?
見事に撃退できた話を聞くの楽しみにしてますね
I look forward to hearing the tale of his defeat.
そうだね。オイラもそれを期待してるよ。
Yeah, so am I.
まあ、オイラは駒出し係で、勝負はウサギさん次第なんだけどね。
Though I'm just the peacemaker, the actual match is in Mr. Rabbit's hands.
その駒出し係というのは何なんですか
What does the peacemaker do?
先輩の話の中でセチュに関わる役みたいな感じで何度か出てきたんですけど
It keeps coming up in your stories as some kind of role in Shush, right?
まあ、いろいろあるわけよ。口じゃうまく説明できない。
Well, it's complicated. I don't know how to put it in words. You don't know how to explain that you let a rabbit chop off your hands. Not like I could tell him. Ripping out your own body parts to create new pieces wasn't exactly something you wanted to talk about.
エリス、大丈夫？
Are you okay? She is definitely not okay.
よかった。腕も指も生えてきたよ。歯も目玉も生えてきた。
Well, that's nice at least. At least she gets them back, but the pain still sucks. Oh, thank goodness, your arms and fingers have grown back. So have your teeth and eye.
まあ、オイラは無敵の不死身だからね。
Oh, well, I am the immortal Princess Alice, the undefeated. It seemed I had lost consciousness from having my body ripped apart. Guess I shouldn't have been surprised anyone faint after having something that messed up happen to them.
おや、お目覚めですか？おはようモーニングですよ、エリス姫。
Yada! Oh, you're awake when the morning, Princess Alice.
いい夢は見られましたですか
？Let me out! Let me out! I wish we were back in a car with Kamihara instead of this. Did you have a good dream?
こっちが夢だったらどんなにかよかった。
Boy, it'd be so nice if this were the dream. But this was also reality. That hellish pain, getting my fingers and arms torn off, all of it. It was then that I noticed the rowdy audience of card soldiers had completely vanished. The only ones there were me, Mr. Rabbit, and the pimple-faced bastard himself, the Shesh King. What happened to the Shesh match? The audience was gone, so did that mean it was over?
ねえ、ウサギさん、勝負がどうなったの？
Well, how'd the game go?
頑張ったよ。僕はすごく頑張ったんだ。
So you lost.
僕ちん、大苦戦したんでちゅ。大ピンチの連続だったんでちゅよ。
It was a really close game. It was one hurdle after the next.
ああ、もういいわ。なんかオイラ、オチが分かったわ。
Yeah, okay, that's enough. I think I get the picture. Several large pieces of various shapes were strewn across the shesh board, but they were all black. Not even one of our red pieces was to be found.
すっごく頑張ったけど、全滅したわけね。
You tried really hard, but still completely lost, huh?
ごめんよ。エリスが倒れてる間に絶対決着をつけようと思ったんだよ。
I'm sorry! I was so sure I could win while you were unconscious.
オイラの指だの腕だの歯だの目玉だのを引っこ抜いて潰して。
I tore out all those body parts for this? Akane, I think it's time you learn the rules of Sesh. You can't trust this rabbit.
ごめんよ本当に頑張ったんだよ信じてよエリス
というわけでエリス姫僕ちんとの約束は守ってもらいますよ。
We are not going over there.
約束ってなんだっけ
Which one was that again?
寝る前に必ず歯を磨くだっけ
Brush all my teeth before I go to sleep?
この国がこいつのものになっちゃうんだよ
Damn.
そしてお前さんは僕ちんの家族に加わるのでちゅ。
Promise to join my family? No such
僕
thing.
ちんはセチュでの約束はいつも守ってきましたでちゅよ。
I always kept promises made in Shesh, didn't I?
そうだねオイラが勝った時
True.
ちゃんと約束を守って
Guess you always did keep your promises whenever I won.
そうでちゅ。これまでいっぱい負けてお小遣いをあげてきましたでちゅよ。
Oh my god, she got all that money from gambling. She got it from like poker and shit.
だから今度はエリス姫が約束を守る番なのでちゅよ。
So it's your turn to keep your promise? No, thank you.
僕ちんの新しい家族に加わってみんなで幸せになるでちゅ。
Now you get to join my new family and be happy with everyone. Yay, a cult.
新しい家族をみんなも歓迎してくれるでちゅよ。
Oh boy. I wanted to tell her my mom was enough family for me, but...
仕方ないな
Fine.
は
You just get in a really bad mood and throw a fit if I said no anyway. Fine, but this is just for pretend, alright? Nothing more.
家族愛は何にも勝る愛情なのでちゅ。
Familiar love conquers all? Yeah, that's sketch.
エリス姫にもそれが分かってもらえて僕ちんは本当に嬉しいでちゅ。
I would be so happy if you came to understand that too.
へいへい
This guy's wilding? Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is like a metaphor for her stepdad or something, or like someone her mom's dating. Like someone who is clearly one step away from sexually assaulting her, because that's how these games always go.
家族でないやつがいるでちゅね。お前さんはもうあっちへ行けでちゅよ。
An outsider? Suzumu?
耳はつかまないでよ
No! Be nice to the rabbit! No! Well, there he went. Like a home run in baseball.
さあさあ、これで今度こそ家族水入らずでちゅよ。
Yeah, this is sus. Hi, Semi. Please save us from the sus.
でも新しい家族になる前には必要なイニシエーションがありまっちゅ。
Oh, this is a cult. Oh, God. Oh, God. This cannot go well.
へいへい家族ごっこはめんどくさいね
You're also very sus? You can't be worse than this guy.
ではでは、エリスは僕ちんたちの新しい家族に加わりまっちゅって。
Now then,
ですよ。
swear that you will join my new family. Say it. Ugh. I hate saying anything someone forced me to say. Especially since I didn't want to be part of this pimply-faced bastard's family, even as a joke. But I'd lost. So I had to keep my end of the bargain. I What? No, I couldn't sound embarrassed saying it. The scum was the kind of person who'd get off on that. I had to say it. Plain and simple.
エリスは
I will
セチの王様の新しい家族に
join
なります
the Sesh King's new family. There, I said it. Happy now? But right before I could say that, the world went dark, as if someone had flipped a light switch. The sky's colors were wondrous, typical of a night in Wonderland. Oh, here we go. What kind of horrors are we gonna be witness to? It wasn't black as crow feathers like it was in the other world. A dazzling silver moon shone in the heavens. Countless fairies danced rainbows across the sky. It would have been a magical sight. If I were the only one here, that is.
どんな景色もあんたと一緒じゃ興ざめだね
Anything looks like crap when you're around. Yikes! When I turned around, I almost jumped when I saw his eyes and nose right in front of me. His usual frivolous expression was nowhere to be found. Instead, he gave me a sharp glare that sent shivers down my spine, one I'd never seen from him before. I'd always found the Sheshkin annoying, but never once had he actually scared me. Overcome with that fear, I fell on my backside. The Sheshkin smirked as if he found it amusing. And just like that, he was back to his usual dumb grin on his ugly, pimply face.
嬉しいでちゅよ、エリス。
I'm so glad, Elise.
そしてもう寂しくないでちゅよ。エリスには互いを思い合う大勢の家族ができたのでちゅから。
No, you'll never be lonely again. You've just become part of a big caring family. Nothing in this world is more sacred and wonderful than familial love. Romantic love is held up as the most sacred of all, but when you really think about it, it's based on the Unsuitable scale known as lust? Repulsive, wouldn't you say? Romance and the like are nothing but fancy garments to drape over lust. And at the end of that rampage lies divorce and the destruction of familial love. Repulsive, utterly repulsive.
僕ちんはね、思うのでちゅよ。家族愛とは男女の性差を飛び越えた真の愛情。
So you assault your daughters. I get it now. Oh boy, Kane, what did you get yourself into?
人は肉欲という煩悩から解放されるために、その根源となる性差を克服せねばならないのでちゅ。
I'm just gonna read it straight because the lisp is a real pain in the butt to read. In order to liberate mankind from the evil passion known as lust, the difference between man and woman that forms its root must be subjugated.
だから僕ちんは伝えたい。家族の愛の素晴らしさを。
That is why I wish to preach the beauty of familial love. Ugh. Gross. Does he fancy himself a philosopher or something? No, he's a cult leader. Close enough. Whatever. Guess I'll just play along. Whatever puts him in a good mood. The Sheshkin reached for his pumpkin trousers straight out of a picture book. Yeah, I don't like this. I was taken aback, expecting to see the embarrassing sight of two ugly legs in underwear. But what I saw defied all expectations. What? He did indeed have legs, but not two of them. Oh! How many? I couldn't begin to count. Oh! He's like a centipede or something. No, wait! This is Alice in Wonderland. He's the caterpillar. There were way too many. Because... yeah, there we go. The Sheshkin's lower half was like a caterpillar the size of a human. I couldn't take my eyes off that horrifying sight. Those countless legs constantly squirming. That pattern of venomous dark red blotches. Not particularly beautiful, no. Don't look so surprised. We're family now, aren't we? Are we? Great, caterpillar people. He reached for his neck as if he were taking off a sweat-drenched shirt. Oh, God. And then with a wet, slithering noise, he slid his upper body off. Oh, today was so hot. I was sweating up a storm. The body I thought was the Sheshkin himself was sloppily thrown aside. He was a giant caterpillar, covered in odious red and black spots. The only thing that remained the same was that disgusting pimple face of his. I felt like I was going mad from the shock. That was why that aspect of him was actually a minor relief for me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, alright. His countless legs wriggled loudly as he slithered over to me. As if one blob wasn't enough, now the blob has a face. Yeah. I can speak. Still frozen where I sat, I could only watch as he covered my body with his. No! You're to be part of my Caterpillar Land family now? Oh, God. Yeah, this is a metaphor for... This is a metaphor for sexual assault, yup. Yup. Oh! Absolutely a metaphor. Great. That lawn Raja was sick. Oh, yeah. Was like sharp tip tip at the end, like a lance, just in case you weren't sure, just in case, you know, you really, really, really needed. Just in case you really needed it beat over the head. Strains of white mucus. Ah, gross. Blotched with red dangled from the tip like a nosebleed. The giant caterpillar let out a strained grunt. And when he did, something... Oh, God. God. No! Jesus Christ. Why is this the time for me to zone into the stream? Do not! Everyone, cover your eyes and your ears, because I'm not reading this out loud. If you want to know what's happening, you can watch the VOD and read it on your own time. I am not here for this. That is bullshit. Yeah. Yabe. Yabe. Oh God. That face too, Jesus. Yay! It's like having both a rusty dagger and metal pole shoved into me. Yikes, 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 yikes. Yay! The Sheshkin was no longer speaking a human language. Oh, yeah, that is. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oy, Oi, yeah, 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 yeah.
綺麗な模様にしてあげまちゅからね。
Yikes. Yeah. Pain, repulsion. The only way I could find some sort of escape from those was letting my heart freeze over. The Prince of Moonsoot, would it be coming to save me? Every time I regain consciousness, I found myself being rolled face up or face down. All I could see, those disgusting swollen lumps all over my body. My whole body was swelling up. By now, I was already a caterpillar monster. Yikes.
おー、スズム
Ugh!
こっちいらっしゃい。
I feel disgusting. Alright, guys, it's over. For now, I suppose. Jesus. Ay, caramba. Wow, that was something. That was something, alright. Like waking up from a fever dream. Yeah, it's over. Oh my god. My skin is actually crawling from that. I mean, good job at like actually writing. Time for eye bleach? Oh yeah. Time to go. Well, I'm not ending stream yet, but time to go like scrub myself raw in the shower basically. Man. Good, good on the new Kishi for writing that as a metaphor and having it being absolutely clear what it is in reality, and also making it terrified in that way because it's, well, It's A, horror stuff, and then B, it is the horrors of sexual assault. Yikes. I'm gonna have to put a trigger warning on this VOD. Oh, am I ever? Sheesh. Like, I knew this would have to come up because, I mean, it was in Higurashi as well. But still, yay. It's funny because when I was researching stuff for Iwaihime, I read that in the English version they rewrote some of like the sexual assault stuff. And I'm like, I guess that was one scene you just couldn't get around. I guess they were like, we're never gonna get this past the Steam review board if we don't rewrite most of this. So here we go. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Stretch. Actually, you know what? I'm getting cookies. I need comfort food after that. One sec. Understandable? Yeah. Ugh. I mean, I think regardless of your gender, that scene is horrible. But I think if you can relate to Kane on either level, either because you're the same gender as her or you are a survivor, that's gonna be a rough scene. Hui. Chewy chocolate chip cookies fix everything. Chocolate chip, yeah! I knew there was a reason why I thought it was a good idea to buy cookies today. Okay. I have soothed my soul. The good news is, because I had pulled up a summary of the chapters, it looks like Kane's is probably the shortest chapter in the game. So at least we won't have to deal with the Shesh King for that much longer. I don't think we'll finish it this stream, but at least next stream for sure.
Konnichiwa, senpai. Mail ありがとうございます。
Thanks for the text.
もうやってるんですか？手伝います。
俺夕方に近所のガキどもとデュエルの約束があるんだけどな。
You're gonna duel some of the local kids? What does that even mean?
手伝えるところまででいいからさ。
Just help out until you have to leave. The LCS club room was a spare room near the infirmary. Though the school was mammoth in size, even it couldn't escape the consequences of a declining national birth rate. I see. meaning with each year there were more and more spare classrooms. Thus, the LCSC was using one of them as a makeshift club room. Big club room. Miss Hinagata wasn't around. She was the school doctor, so she couldn't always be in the club room. It was common for her to have to leave to help students who got hurt in the sports clubs. The room was packed to the gills with piles of cardboard boxes of varying sizes. Inside were old sweaters, unopened gifts, well-used microwaves, TVs, and so on. The boxes were filled to the brims with such objects. Rummage sale?
不用品って結構あるもんなんですね。
There sure are a lot of unused things here.
新品も結構あるよ。もったいないもったいないだね。
There's tons of new stuff too. Such a big waste, huh?
を整頓して目録を作るのか。こりゃ骨だな。
So we gotta sort these out and catalog them, eh? Huh, that's gonna be a pain.
まあぼちぼちやろうよ。2、3日で終わるもんじゃないっしょ。
Well, let's take it a step at a time. Not like we're gonna finish this up in just 2 or 3 days. A rummage sale, that's what I thought. This was the era where it cost money just to get rid of large objects, only if you do it legally. Categorize them, make an inventory, and decide what to do with them.
雛形先生。
ごめんなさいね。私ちょっと今手が離せないの。やれるとこまででいいからお願いしちゃっていい？
Just do as much as you can, don't worry about the rest!
あいよたまよん。勝手に承知の助さ。
Gotcha, heard you loud and clear.
俺にはゴミの山にしか見えねえぜ。
Man, all I see is a pile of trash.
ゴミの山も分類すれば宝の山って言うよ。
But it could be a pile of treasure when we're done with it. Double doubloons? Okay, Marin.
阪神と東北と熊本の3つの大震災で多くの教訓が得られたからね。
We've all learned a lot from the Kobe, Tohoku, and Kumamoto earthquakes, right? What did we learn?
被災地に援助物資という名のガラクタ詰め合わせを送りつけるのは単なる嫌がらせでしかないから。
Sending trash under the name of relief to disaster-stricken areas is just wrong. Yeah.
そうですね。ボランティアは自己満足でなく、相手のニーズに繊細に対応する必要がありますね。
Can't be volunteering just to feel good about yourself. You have to be sensitive to others' needs. Correct. Also, just buy less clothes. Don't just assume you can just donate what you don't like anymore, because most of it gets shipped off to like third world countries, and now they have so much crap that they're just trashing it all. It's better to just buy less overall.
もうスズムその回答100点満点
Get a gold star for that answer, yay!
さすがはグレイトな男
Great man.
確かになどんな強力なレアカードも整理しなきゃデッキには入れられね
He plays Yu-Gi-Oh! No matter what kind of rare cards you get, you need to rearrange your deck before you can put them in.
じゃあ手分けしてキリキリ頑張りましょう
Then let's split up and get this done.
いいのいいののんびりダラダラで
Relax, we can take our time.
こんだけ量があるんだからおしゃべりでもしながら気楽に行こ
We've got a lot to go through, so let's chat or something and take this easy. In actuality, we'd planned on spending all of next Sunday taking care of this. But as per President Minobe's orders, we decided to do work a little at a time after school each day.
これは何だろう
What's this?
タオル手ぬぐいかな
Maybe a hand towel?
ほらこんな風にか
うそれきっとおむつだよ使い捨てじゃないリターナブルの
Those are diapers.
おむつうわ
I mean, washable diapers have been a thing forever. I'm gonna assume they didn't just give you dirty diapers.
でも被災地じゃ水は貴重だから使い捨ての方が便利だろうね
But water's precious in disaster zones, so disposable ones are probably better for them.
ほんじゃそれはバザー行きで
Okay, that's going to the rummage sale then.
じゃあこっちの箱へ
Alright, then I'll check these boxes over here. The inventory was divided into 3 categories: disaster relief, rummage sale, and garbage. Unusual items with no apparent use would also show up from time to time, so the work was pretty interesting. But there were still loads of things to sort through. It seemed our time after school would be centered around this for the time being. Just then, the door opened. But it wasn't Miss Hinagata.
あれクロッチじゃんメール見てくれたんだ
Kuroki! That's cute. Oh my gosh, it's Kuroki! You must have gotten my text. Kuroki as in Kurokami. Got it. However, she was staring out into space as always. Go. What?
来てくれただけでも嬉しいよ今日も調子悪そうだね
I'm just happy you showed up. You don't look so hot, but that's not unusual.
たまに来てくれるの調子がいい時は手伝ったりもしてくれるんだけど
She, comes by once in a while. She helps out when she's feeling okay, but, well...
黒髪ってなんでシャチホコ部にいるんだ
Why is Kurokami in the LCSC?
さあほら雛形先生って結構気まぐれだから
I don't know, beats me. You know how fickle Miss Hinagata is. Go. She looked right into my eyes. Though she'd been staggering just seconds ago, that all came to a stop. Meanwhile, I found myself staring right into her eyes too.
ああクロッチは初対面だよね紹介するよ我が部のニューホープの2人
Oh, you haven't met them yet, have you? Allow me to introduce the new hopes of our club.
ああ同じクラスだっけか
Oh! Wait, that's right. You guys are in the same class, aren't you?
あれ今日は調子いいみたいじゃん
Huh? Well, what do you know? Sounds like you're feeling okay today after all.
どうしてここに
Why is he here?
タマヤの気まぐれじゃない先週唐突に連れてきてさ
'Cause Mayuhin felt like it. She just dragged him in without any warning last week. Hinagata did. It was very rare to hear her say something. According to Minobe, that meant she was feeling good. Did that mean there was a chance she'd respond to me?
Yeah.
Hi. Her face wrenched with agony the moment I called out to her. Oh, so she really wasn't feeling well after all.
大丈夫?
Is something wrong? Stay back. After I took a single step forward, Kurokami covered her face with the doll in her left hand while motioning me for me to stop with her right. Sweat rose to the surface of her agonized face.
具合悪いの?
Are you okay?
雛形先生を呼んでくるよ。
I'll go call for Miss Hinagata. I told you to stay back.
どうして?
Why? Your corruption is painful. With that, Kurokami turned around, still fighting back the agony. I couldn't think of anything to say to her.
おい、てめえ、いつまでほっつき歩いてんだよ。今日は先輩とカラオケ行くんだよ。たまには少しマシな顔でお酌くらいしてみせろよな。
Jesus.
はい、翔様。
お前ら行くぞ。
よいや。
スズもクロッチに嫌われてる？
Does Kuroki have something against you?
クロッチがあんなこと言うとこなんて初めて見た。
I've never heard her say anything like that before.
気にすることないよ。黒髪さんが意味のないことを言うなんていつものことだよ。
Don't let it bother you. Kurokami tends to say some pretty odd stuff from time to time.
たまたま体調と機嫌が悪かっただけに違いないよ。
I'm sure she's just not feeling well, that's all.
そうだね。
You're probably right.
セスハラのグレイトさがわからねえとはな。いけすかない女だぜ。
おかしな男が言い名付けだしさ。気苦労も絶えないんだよ。
And she's got a crazy fiance too. She must have a lot on her plate. He worked all through the afternoon. Natsuo had made plans with friends, so he left earlier on. But we just kept working and managed to make quite a dent in our workload.
僕、ミノベ先輩に謝らなきゃいけないです。
Minobe, I owe you an apology.
何が？
Huh? For what? Initially, I'd assumed that she was kind of lazy from her general demeanor. But the past few days had proven me wrong. She was always proactively carrying out the club's activities. She really was an ideal president. And she was fun to hang around to boot.
先輩のこと、改めて尊敬しました。
I've come to respect you all over again.
やっぱり社長コブに入ってよかったと思います。
I really am glad I joined the LCSC.
私も最初は先輩のこと誤解してました。
Same for me. I totally had the wrong idea about her when we first met.
でも先輩はいつも暗くなるまで部室でたった一人でも仕事をしてる。
But she's always working there until dark every single day, even by herself if she has to.
もう帰ってもすることとかないしね。
Well, I mean, it's not like I have anything to do back home. She's avoiding it.
家帰っても親が勉強しろしろうるさいだけだし。
My mom just nags me to study when I'm there. She tried laughing it off, but I wasn't fooled anymore. No, you could say that was her very essence. Same went for training. It's easy to work yourself hard until it shows on your face. But with her, she just relaxed and had fun, no matter what she did.
僕も見習わなくちゃ。
I could learn a thing or two from you.
そういえばスズムンって空手をやってんだって？
By the way, you do karate, right, Suzumun?
やってますやってます。毎日夕方には道着を着て裏庭で稽古してますよ。
Uh-huh, he sure does. He puts on his dojo uniform and practices in the backyard every evening.
へえ、何それかっこいい。
Ooh, that's so cool.
ねえねえ、あのさ。
Hey, can I ask you something? Minobe walked ahead of us, then turned around and spoke.
おいらもスズムンのかっこいいとこ見てみたいな。
I'd like to see Suzumun showing off too. It was a common misunderstanding, but the Suzuhara Divine Tribute style wasn't for fighting. Its primary goal was to sublimate a pure heart cultivated in training through martial arts, then dedicate that to God. Oh! Okay.
なのにクロッチに汚れてるとか言われちゃショックだよね。
Boy, it must have stunned to have Kuroki call you corrupted.
僕の修行がまだ未熟だからだと思います。
I guess that means my training still got a long way to go.
先輩、麦茶入れてきました。
Ooh, Muki-cha! I wanted to be like my father and hold martial arts demonstrations at temples and shrines someday. Any corruption had to be purged before that was possible. I had to free myself from obstructive thoughts and hone my spirit. The apartment complex's backyard was my training ground. I channeled all my spirit into my fist and punched a cherry blossom tree with straw wrapped around it. I was a bit sluggish today. I really did have a long way to go if Minobe's presence was enough to dull my fist.
すごいね。よく素手で木をパンチして痛くないもんだね。
Oh, amazing. I'm surprised you can punch a tree like that.
砂を詰めたバケツをパンチしてることもありますよ。
He's also punched loads and loads of buckets full of sand.
スズムンかっこいい。おいら惚れちゃいそうだ。
I think I might be falling for you. Woo-hoo.
集中。
I trained to the bone until the sky turned indigo, then took a shower and had dinner. Kiko's mom always cooked our evening meals. I took my shower and went to room 101, only to find Minobe there as well.
おお、スズム。シャンプーの香りでめっちゃフェロモン出てる。
Mecha pheromone?
お母さんが夕飯を一緒にどうって言ってくれたの。
I asked Mom if she could have dinner with us.
おいら畳の上で家族ご飯食べるの割と憧れだったんだ。
I've always wanted to have a nice family dinner around the table.
僕も一人っ子だから賑やかなご飯はすごく楽しいです。
I'm an only child, so the more the merrier.
つばきこ配膳手伝って
スズムくん、テレビのリモコンを取ってもらっていいかい？
The TV remote.
はい、どうぞ。
ミノベさんは野球とか見る？
あーいや見たことないです。
じゃあ一緒に見ようか。楽しいぞ。
はーい、お待たせだよ。
What a nice family.
はい、先輩。
I'm jealous.
うん、ありがとう。
Everyone sat together and began eating. We were having somen and tempura for dinner. Just seeing the ice cubes floating atop the soup in our glass bowls was enough to cool us down. Though it wasn't quite summer yet, the days had been hot and sweaty, so this was the perfect dish.
すごい。そうめんってこんなに美味しかったんだ。
Yaw.
氷が入って冷えてるだけでこんなにも美味しくなるんだね。
Who knew cooling it off with ice was the key?
麺って違うんですか？
Your family makes somen differently?
オイラの家のは茹でたのに流水をかけただけのぬるいのが出てくるよ。
We boil it, but we use running water, so it never comes out hot or cold.
すぐベタベタになってくっついて塊になっちゃって食べづらいし美味しくないし。
It quickly becomes this sticky lump that's hard to eat. It doesn't taste good at all.
嫌いだったはずなのに
So, normally I don't like it,
こんなに美味しいなんて
but
知らなかったな。
I never knew it could be this good. Minobe lowered her head a little sadly, but she was back to her usual cheerful smile by the time she raised her head. Oof. Afterwards, we all watched with excitement as the baseball game kept going back and forth. It was completely dark outside, but we kept on spending time like a happy family. Having been invited to take a bath, Minobe went to Kiko's apartment for a shower.
先輩、今日は私のとこにお泊まりしていくことになってるの。
She'll be staying at my place tonight.
そうだったんだ。
I see.
キコちゃんと先輩はやっぱり仲良しだったんだね。
The two of you are really close, huh?
うん、
Mm-hmm.
フレンドだよ。
We're the very, very best of friends.
じゃあすずむ、おやすみ。
Alright, good night, Suzumu.
おやすみ。
Yeah, good
ま
night.
た明日。
See you tomorrow. We didn't really do anything all that special, but it had been a fun day. I basked in those memories as I soaked in the bath.
社長コブに入って
うん
本当に良かったな。
I really am glad I joined.
キコちゃんや夏くんとも一緒だし、ミノベ先輩は面白くて尊敬できる人だし。
I've got Kiko and Natsu with me, and Minobe's so fun and admirable. Though she may not have liked me at that moment, I hoped Kurokami and I could be friends someday.
楽しいな、毎日が。
Every day has been so much fun since then.
こんな生活の機会をくれた両親にも感謝しなくちゃ。
I have to thank my parents for giving me the opportunity to live like this. I had to reflect more carefully on how blessed I was that I could say that. Minobe had said it herself at yesterday's fundraiser.
両親に感謝できるってこと自体、幸運にたくさん恵まれてたと自覚するべきだろうね。
True.
もっと先輩と話したいな。
I wish I could talk with Minobe some more. She was probably lying around in Kiko's room, chatting. If I were a girl, I could have joined in on their conversations. But alas.
いいさ。社長コブでこれからもおしゃべりする機会
It's fine.
あるさ。
We'll have plenty of chances to talk at the LCSC. Guess I'll sleep. Did I just hear something? Knock knock. Huh? Knocking? Realizing that the knocking signified a visitor, I sat up, eyes still clouded with sleep. I ran over to the door and opened it, very careless in hindsight. But since I was still half asleep, I had a hard time telling if this was a dream or not. So when I opened the door and saw the sight that awaited me, I was convinced I was still dreaming. I should have seen the same old scenery outside. Welp! But instead, I was faced with a wondrous world, the likes of which I'd never seen before.
起こしちゃってごめん。
Sorry for waking you.
ミノベ先輩。
She wore a blue dress. Meanwhile, I realized I was in my school uniform instead of my night clothes. We were in a strange world. where giant mushrooms with polka dots and star patterns upon them grew. I turned around only to discover even my place had become part of this bizarre land. It changed into a room from a cabin straight out of a fairy tale. What is this?
ああ、ごめんね。深く考えないで。
Oh, sorry. Don't look too deep into it.
夢の続きだと思って。明日になったらさっぱり忘れてるから。
Just consider this a continuation of a dream. You'll forget this ever happened by morning. I don't know about that, but okay. Like if you say so, I guess.
夢の中の人にこれは夢だって言われるのは
This is the first time in one of my dreams someone has admitted that it is one.
まあ、ここではこっちが現実で、向こうこそが夢なわけだけど。
Well, to me, this is reality and the other world is a dream.
難しいことは考えなくていいよ。
Just don't think too hard about it, okay? Minobe laughed as she went inside. Just then, a clothed rabbit walking on its hind legs followed her. It was like something from a picture book.
おお、あなたがムーンスートの王子様。
Oh, you're the Prince of Moonslit!
お会いできて光栄だよ。
It's an honor! The talking rabbit reached out for a handshake. Yep, this had to be a dream.
そうそう。王子様は深く考えなくていいの。
Mm-hmm, that's right. Don't look too deeply into this, Your Highness.
夢の中だと思ってた方が。
Things will go easier if you think of this as a dream.
王子様って僕のことですか？
By Your Highness, you mean me?
そう。私はここではお姫様。不思議の国のエリス姫。
Yep, here I'm a princess, Princess Alice of Wonderland. Alice? I felt like I'd heard that name from Minobe yesterday. As I stood in blank amazement, several rabbits walked right past me. Carrying tea sets, they all set the table, one after the next.
エリス、準備ができたよ。
Alice, everything's ready.
ありがとう。じゃあね。
Great, thanks. Later.
ごゆっくり。全体進め。
Yeah, have a good time. Move out, guys. Tea, pancakes, and beautiful silverware lined the table. The rabbits marched out en masse once they finished setting up. They shut the door, leaving Minobe and I alone in a room rich with the fragrance of tea.
どうぞ召し上がれ。まったりしよう。
Hi, Luna. Go on, help yourself. Kick back a little.
はい。
Okay.
ほらほら、どうせ夢なんだから考えたら負けだって。
Go on. It's all just a dream, so no point in dwelling on it.
夢の中で夢って諭されるなんてやっぱりちょっとおかしいです。
It's kind of funny being scolded in a dream. My body eased a little once I accepted what I was seeing as untrue. My senses still weren't fully in tune with it all, but I decided to accept Minobe's suggestion. I chose to sit in one of the cute fairy tale-esque chairs and have some tea. Minobe lifted the teacup, then traced the saucer with a lonely smile.
今日のさ、お夕飯のそうめん。
Remember that salmon we had for dinner?
一番驚いたのは氷が入ってたからとかじゃないんだよね。
It wasn't the ice that surprised me the most about it.
うちお母さんが家事とかめんどくさがるたちでさ、お皿洗いたくないからって。
Oh no! My mom finds chores to be a pain, so she doesn't want to wash plates.
皿はみんな紙皿を使うんだ。
That means all our plates are paper. Jesus. That is such a waste.
洗わないで捨てればいいから、確かに手間はかからないですね。
You can just throw them out without washing them, so it's true they save time.
紙皿ってさ、紙の味が移るから嫌いなんだよね。
It's just, you see, they make the food taste like paper, so I hate
そ
them.
れに料理によってはベタベタと張り付いちゃって、
And if the food's sticky, it gets stuck to the plate.
お箸で取ると紙皿の表面の紙が張り付いちゃうんだ。
So when you pick it up with chopsticks, you get bits of paper stuck onto it.
最初の頃は律儀にその紙を剥がしてたけど、
At first, I used to tear that paper off, every last scrap.
だんだんめんどくさくなってきて、
Gee, don't eat the plate!
切れた紙が張り付いたまま
But I found it a pain, so
に
eventually,
なって、
I just started eating while leaving the scraps on.
だんだん何を食べてもみんな同じ紙の味に感じるようになってきちゃってさ。
And in the end, I started tasting paper in everything I ate.
だからあんな綺麗なガラスの器で
Extra fiber or something?
食べたの。
This is... I know Ryukishi really likes writing about his abusive households, but this one is something. So it'd been so long
本当に久しぶりで、
since I last had such delicious somen in such a beautiful glass bowl.
久しぶりで。
So long. Though Minobe was smiling, there were tears in her eyes.
先輩。
嫌だった。紙が張り付いたままのおかずを食べるのに慣れてる自分が。
I hate it. I hate that I just got used to eating paper in my food.
お母さんのめんどくさがり屋なとこ、
Even though I hate how lazy my mother is.
私もお母さんと変わらない。
I've turned out just like her.
先輩はめんどくさがり屋なんかじゃないです。
I don't think you're lazy at all.
そうかな。
You really think so?
僕は今日まで先輩の様々なことを見てきました。
I've seen so many sides of you by
め
now.
んどくさがり屋なんてとんでもない。
And let me tell you, you're far from lazy.
先輩は誰よりも真面目にコツコツと積み上げる。
I've never seen anyone as dedicated as you.
もしも先輩に気の毒なことがあったとしたら、
I think the saddest thing here
誰よりも努力家であることを褒めてもらえなかったことだと思います。
is that nobody's ever praised you for how hard you work.
様、
Wow! A protagonist in a dating sim that's actually a good guy. Wow. A protagonist that is actually believable. He's got every girl likes him. Cute. I brought my chair over to Minobe and let her rest her head on my shoulder. This was the only way I could convey my feelings. Come to think of it, I called her by her last name. That was supposed to be my way of showing her due respect, but perhaps it sounded like I viewed her as a stranger. Looking at her over my shoulder drove home just how tiny she was. She was so dainty that I probably would have thought she was younger than me if we met under different circumstances. Yeah, that is, the lack of nutrition. After all, I'd already misread her by her laid-back attitude at first, hadn't I?
僕に力になれることがあったら何でも言ってください。
If there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to ask.
いつでもどんな時でも必ず力になりますから。
I swear I'll be there for you whenever you need me. Oh, Suzumu! I know you're a good dude, but you said that to Toei, and look what happened.
嬉しいな。その言葉だけでも
Thank you.
救われる。
Just hearing that takes a load off my back. She perched her head against my shoulder. Though she sounded happy, I could hear her sniffle. While her face was hidden, I couldn't read her mind. My heart ached for the burden she was carrying day after day.
やっぱりスズムンは王子様だね。
You really are a prince, Suzumun.
ここって以前話してくれた不思議の国なんですよね。
This is that wonderland you told me about, isn't it?
ここではミノベカナエじゃなくてエリスだって言ってましたよね。
Here, you're not Kane Minobe, but Ellis. That's what you told me.
そう。不思議の国のエリス姫なんだ。
Right, I'm Princess Ellis of Wonderland.
じゃあここでは僕が王子様でもいいんだ。
Then, I suppose I can be a prince here.
だってここは不思議の国という向こうとは違う
After all,
もう一つの現実なんだから。
Wonderland is its own separate reality.
本当にいいの？
Huh? Are you really okay with that?
だって姫様と王子様がいたら
Because whenever there's a princess and a prince,
恋に落ちちゃうって
they
なってるよ。
always end up falling in love, right?
だってここは不思議の国じゃないですか。
Well, this is Wonderland, isn't it?
不思議の国でお姫様と王子様が出会ったら
I think
僕もそれが
that's just how
必
things
然だと思
go
います。
when a prince and a princess meet in a place like this.
おいら重たいよ。
Am I not too heavy?
鍛えてますから平気です。
I train, so I'm fine.
そうじゃなくておいらいろいろと重たい女だから。
No, I mean, I weigh down on others a lot. Don't you find that annoying?
僕はその真逆で几帳面が過ぎる性格ですもん
I'm the opposite. I'm way too meticulous.
案外2つ混ぜたらバランスがいいかもしれないです。
So who knows? Maybe we strike a good balance.
本当だ。
That's true.
ね
You know, she raised her head, put her hands on my shoulders, and looked deep into my eyes.
え、スズムンとは
I wish that I'd
早く
met you
会えてたらな。
just a little sooner.
そうしたら
Oh, not this! Not this stupid thing about being sexually assaulted makes you impure. Ah, they do this in Fate Stay Night too, and I hate it.
汚れたってすすけたって何も変わらないです。
It doesn't matter whether you're dirty or sullied.
僕だって
I mean,
転んだってすりむいたって
I've fallen and gotten hurt plenty of times before.
そうじゃなくて大好きなスズムンに一番綺麗な私を捧げたかったな。
今が一番綺麗です。
ありがとう。
Her nose tickled my own. Cute! And then her lips, soft as an angel's feather, kissed my own. They really were ticklish. We soon parted our lips, and she looked up at me with upturned eyes and flushed cheeks.
一応お姉さんだしリードをしなきゃって。
Hey, I'm still older than you. So I figured I had to take the lead. She jerked her head away as though concealing her embarrassment. The gesture was absolutely adorable.
ちょっと失望した。はしたない女だと思った。
Did I come on too strong?
そう
No,
なんです。
not at
そ
all.
うだったとしても何も失望したりする
And
こと
even
が
if you had, Why would I have been disappointed?
ありのままの本当の姿を受け入れるのが王子様の役目だって。
I believe it's a prince's job to accept the princess for who she truly is.
かっこよすぎるぞ王子様。
Now you're just showing off, Your Highness.
本当
Did you mean it?
本当に
Mean what?
本当に私の本当の姿
That you would accept me
受け入れて
for who
くれる
I truly am?
もちろん
Yeah, of course. And when I nodded, the tears finally burst free from her eyes. Silver teardrops framed her ear-to-ear grin.
後悔したらぶっ殺すから
Uh-huh. There it is. I'll kill you if you ever take back those
後
words.
悔なんかするもんか。
I never will.
じゃあ絶対だよ
The music stopped. Oh yeah, things are about to go bad. That's why I said, Suzumu, you also told Toei you would always be by her side no matter what. And then you took those words back, and you died.
絶対に受け入れてね
They had to reel it back in. Yep, you better accept me. Got it? We don't get a happy ending until we get through all of the horrible bad stuff. And then we get to do multiple choice questions and get a girlfriend.
私
Can't hold back anymore. Oh god.
大丈夫？
Are you okay? I could see sweat gathering on her face. Something wasn't right. It was like she was resisting something. Despite that, she rose slowly from her chair. Was she not feeling well? Or maybe she'd been feeling sick for a while now? She touched her stomach. No, slightly lower. That slight sensation caused her to groan. I was about to tell her she should sit back down. But then she grabbed her skirt.
絶対に
Don't
目を
look away. Okay? Oh, those eyes. Minobe gave a strained smile. And then she started pulling her skirt up, little by little. Her knees were exposed, followed by her pristine thighs. However, she kept rolling it up like a stage curtain. She even exposed her underwear. And finally...
何を？
What are you doing? She grinned again, still holding up her skirt. Of course, her face was still clammy. She then reached for the silver knife by the pancakes.
我慢できない
どうしちゃったんですか？
You don't want to know. Well, you're about to find out either way. Her eyes were glazed, her cheeks flushed, and her breath sweet. I stood frozen, as though under some spell. A moment later, she took the knife and caressed her abdomen with it. The contrast between her sweaty skin and the silver knife was beautiful beyond compare. All of a sudden, the white tablecloth was painted with a red splash. Minobe had plunged the knife right into her abdomen.
何を？
Oh my god. What are you? It should have hurt, yet she only endured it with a strained smile, gesturing for me to stop. She dug the blade in even deeper until she finally reached something. And then I heard a ripping sound. Ugh, with that, something gushed out. But it wasn't blood. Rather, it was a milky white mucus mixed with blood. It splashed out in dollops. Wow, I didn't think we'd get to the end of her chapter in this stream. I can only imagine it's gonna end soon, like after this. Yet she paid it no heed, even as it dripped down and stuck to her legs. Eventually, it stopped pouring out. She gripped the blade and twisted it around inside her. She cut a horizontal line across her body, as though slitting her own stomach all the way open. My heart was screaming at me to stop her, but I was merely stupefied. It would have been so much easier if I were to faint at that very moment, but all I could do was stare transfixed, as though paralyzed in a snake's gaze. She cleaved across her abdomen as though performing a C-section. Oddly enough, no more of that blood and mucus was spilling out. She opened a vast, gaping hole in her stomach. Afterwards, she checked it with her fingers and dropped the knife. It fell to the floor with a clang. But the sound failed to bring her back to her senses, and the horror before me continued. I could never have imagined this. That sound signaled the start of something even more repulsive. Is this good enough? Good enough for what? She stuck her thumbs into the gaping wound, and then there was a tearing sound, followed by wet noises with a slip, like she was taking off a tight pair of pants. She stripped off her lower half. I wish I'd met you when I was still human. Oh my goodness. When she finished removing the skin of her human legs, I was greeted by 2 rows of countless other appendages. They wriggled around on her bottom half, covered in repulsive dark red spots like a caterpillar's. Though she was still the same girl in a dress on the top, her bottom was that of a massive, horrifying caterpillar. What's more, a part of it was sticking out like a giant needle. Oh, great! Suzumu gets sexually assaulted yet again. Jesus. Well, at least this game is balanced. Doesn't matter the gender, horrific stuff happens to you. I froze the moment I realized it was pointed right at me. I can't fight it back any longer. I just love you. Too much. Oh my god. Family? The caterpillar human slithered my way and looked down as if it were about to crush me. I want to welcome you into the family. She brought the sharp protrusion closer and closer to my chest. My mind had gone blank long ago. If I were to laugh, would all of this turn out to be one big practical joke? That thought helped me force an awkward smile onto my stunned face. Senpai? I...
よくわからないです。
don't understand. What's going on here? It took everything I had just to stand and stagger away. Eye bleach, part 2, electric boogaloo, yup. But neither my face nor words could conceal the revulsion I felt. Fun fact! This is one of the screenshots that's on Steam for this game. So I mean, I knew we were getting this, not what ends up happening to her. Great selling point. Look, at least they did their very best to tell you exactly what you're getting into. She must have felt hurt and angered. I was gonna say, is this really the best time for a fun fact? We gotta cut the tension somehow. Related fun fact. They hated having me at haunted houses because I would just make wisecracks about everything because that's how I deal with my fear. I knew it. I knew you could never accept this tainted body. But I can't answer you. Because I don't know what's happening to me either. I want to welcome you to the family. To Caterpillar Land. I want to cover you from head to toe. With the same lurid caterpillar spots. Caterpillars have 12 eyes. That does, well, most insects have multiple eyes, yeah. So that the two of us can be a pair? I saw the tip of her tube oozing mucus tinged with a repulsive hue, and let out the shrillest scream of my life. Well, you know what? This is actually a better reaction and a more terrifying situation than what it was with Toei. Toei just got really ridiculously horny. This is actually terrifying. That's not really shrill, but okay, you tried. I fell on all fours and started crawling away as fast as I could. I had to get out of there. If I didn't, and that thing got me, I'd... So, this was really a bad dream. Yes, this was a dream. How did I already known that from the start? Can't escape. This is my wonderland. Just give it up. You're already mine. Minabe laughed at my sad state as I pathetically clawed at the door. She threw her head back, took a deep, deep breath, and filled her cheeks. Okay, she spews, the frickin' cocoon web? No, it wasn't hair. It was like white floss. I understood. This was silk. Caterpillar silk. Minobe was shooting thin yet solid silk strands at me, trying to wrap me up like a cocoon. I couldn't break it, no matter how much I struggled. I felt my body being constricted by the silk, by the silk, as I tried to resist. You don't have to be scared, Suzumoon. Though I guess that'd be asking the impossible. What do you want? I want to take all these twitching lumps with these beautiful lurid spots, okay? And cover your entire body with them. Right where you're beautiful, where you're soiled, and even the places you're embarrassed to show. Why must it be so detailed? Oh well, gotta make it terrifying, you know? Gotta appeal to the visceral fears. I'll die if you stab me that much. Yeah, it hurts real bad. But it gets even worse if you try to fight back. So you should just sit back and let it happen. Don't get me wrong though. I wouldn't want just anyone in my family. I'm sure there's scum that would though. Trash will take anyone just to make their family bigger. So, your mother, basically. But in my case, I see it as something absolutely sacred, like a vow. I couldn't think of anyone but you, my beloved Suzumoon that I've only known for a week. Taken at face value, her words were a beautiful confession of love that one should be honored to receive. But who would believe a declaration like that when it was coming from a giant caterpillar binding you with silk? You know, my heart's been aching for you ever since I first saw you. I used to believe love at first sight was only in fairy tales. But look at that! It really does exist! After I met you, these feelings for you tormented me night after night after night. I'm very happy that you fell for me at first sight. I enjoyed talking to you. I always wanted to spend more time with you. But that's why I would never want to hurt you. Don't you feel the same way? This feeling.
って言うんだろうね。
So this is carnal instinct. No. Assaulting someone isn't about lust.
大好きなスズメンだからこそ、スズメンの嫌がることなんてしたくないって気持ち。
Girl. Then
でもね、そんなの関係なく、大好きなスズメンを無理やり毒々芋虫にしてやりたいって。
turn you into a noxious caterpillar no matter what you say. Okay, so it's not love. It is definitely not love. This is all about control.
そういう気持ちも抑えられないくらいに湧いてくるの。変だよね。変だと思う。
I think so too. Then stop it.
死に管を突き立てられて、いかにブリブリと気持ち悪いコブを作られるのって、すっごく辛いこと。
My goodness. Just hang in there for like 10 minutes, internet. My god. I'm pretty sure she's about to get ripped apart, so like, chill. Chill.
それが分かってるはずなのに、それでもなお。
It wants no part of this. I mean, I don't either, but come on. Is this a blessing or a curse? I don't know. The blessing is, this is the I think this is the shortest chapter in the game. They looking at, like, summaries. But
私の汚らしいドロドロの管でブリブリとスズメンの全身をおかしくしたい。
please no desecration. Just when I thought I was finally getting through to her, her eyes glazed over, making it perfectly clear a sane conversation was beyond her grasp. Just as she'd said, she was being controlled by carnal instinct and was completely lacking in reason. Humans were far from perfect. They all had desires they were powerless to stop. Hunger, thirst, and lust for starters. There was no way Minobe could be reasoned with when enslaved by such emotions. All she wanted was one thing: to stab me with that tube. Yoy.
スズメンのことが大好きだから。
Thanks, love me a little less.
無理やりだけど、無理やりじゃないの。
So though I love you, so I'm forcing you, but I'm also not.
スズメンの覚悟が終わるまで。
I'll wait until you're ready for this. Oy, 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 oy. Well, there we go. That's the end of her, anyway. All of a sudden, everything shook with a rumble. The teaspoons rained on the table. Minobe's face froze, and she looked around in confusion. There was again another rumble. It was stronger than the last one. Some dust fell from the ceiling. Minobe's face darkened. What's happening?
静かに。
Quiet. Minobe pressed a finger to my lips and slithered over to the door. She opened it and went outside. Well, this is fine. This was the perfect chance to escape. But I couldn't break free of the silk, no matter how hard I tried. However, I could still roll in it. I had to hide somewhere until Minobe came to her senses. I rolled and crawled like a caterpillar myself, aiming for the door. And there were several loud thumps, followed by the ground shaking. I could tell whatever was causing the shaking wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was the sound of a new terror, far beyond the likes of Minobe. Those tremors felt like a giant's footsteps. Just when I was a hair's breadth away from the exit, Minobe came back. She lifted me up and tossed me on the floor.
ごめんね、スズム。少しおとなしくしてて。
Hold still for a bit, no thank you.
あんな化け物。どこから。
Jeez, where'd that monster come from? Her face was stricken with worry. Minobe was more than enough of a monster herself at that point. Yes, she was calling something else a monster. I couldn't doubt it any longer. Those tremors were the sound of a massive creature stomping about. Minobe locked the door, but that wouldn't do any good against something so gargantuan. She threw her head back, took another deep breath, and started spewing silk threads once more. She used it to block the door like a spider web. That wasn't enough for her. She started creeping around the whole room. Before long, the whole room was covered in silk. As she did, the monster outside finally reached the door. The entire room shook with a shockwave unlike any before, but Minobe's threads were sturdy. The door didn't break, no matter how much the room rumbled or how much dust fell from the ceiling. Okay. Minobe repeated that like a mantra as she kept circling the room, covering it with even more silk. Eventually, all I could see was silk. It was like a blizzard had passed through the room. But Minobe just kept on going. She continued circling around until she eventually started creeping across the walls and ceiling. Everything turned into a pure white womb made of silk. Okay, no thank you. Just then, the fiercest tremor yet struck, knocking Minobe off the ceiling. And then I saw it. The sky, no, the ceiling being torn apart and wrenched open by massive black claws. The ceiling was torn off, splinters fell everywhere. With that, a gaping wide hole to the sky was revealed. Wow! A giant shadow stood against the purple sky, looking down on us. That monster was as big as a skyscraper. Yeah, blocking the door really was gonna help with that, Minobe. Good job. Disheveled black hair hung from its head like a willow tree, framed by two bent branches. So, this is a bigger version of whatever it was that, snapped, Kame Numa in half. Its razor-sharp claws lunged for me. Minobe knocked me aside and charged at the giant black arms. Though she was a giant caterpillar, Minobe was still the same size as a human. She wasn't even as tall as the monster's fist. It was clear who was at a disadvantage here. Well, she's doing her best. The monster let out an earth-shattering howl and a moan. Minobe must have stabbed it with her tube. But all that did was anger the giant. It swiftly grabbed Minobe and wrapped its gargantuan hands around her. The monster carried her up into the sky as though she were just a doll. You probably don't want her to... You probably don't want it to let you go. While you're that high off the ground, you'll just die. I could hear Minobe's voice high in the pitch-black sky. Before long, agony started seeping into her cries. Oh, that's not good. All of a sudden, her shouts vanished right as the sound of her branch snapping ran out. Or that, something came dripping down from above. They were crushed entrails, followed by Minobe's arms, torso, and head. Great! It crashed right into the floor and rolled towards me. And though she'd been reduced to solely a head, Minobe was still conscious. Wow. A single tear leaked from Minobe's eye, and with that, her life came to an end. Suddenly, a thumb as thick as a log came down and squished her head flat like a quail's egg. Yo! The giant head picked me up next, taking me up to the sky. I felt like I was going up the first hill of a particularly tall roller coaster. Though I was scared out of my mind, I couldn't help but laugh my heart out. And when I reached the top of the sky, I saw the moon. The last moon I'd ever see. The last sight I ever saw in Wonderland. Oh, good thing it was just a dream, right? I woke up to find myself sweaty and staring at the ceiling, my body contorted in an odd position. I felt like I had just had the worst nightmare of my life, one that defied any explanation. The details had been so clear just moments earlier, but with every blink and wipe of my forehead, they faded further and further away. I took another look at the ceiling. It was the same wooded ceiling I'd recently gotten used to. I got the impression that I couldn't calm down unless I'd made sure of that. Now it'd be a shame if there were like actual body parts in your room or something. Because as we learned from Kanenuma, you die in those dreams, you die in real life. Minobe had said dreams could be another reality, didn't she? What I felt was a dissonance from that reality not connected to this one. But something like that couldn't possibly exist either. that was a dream, and this was reality. I took a deep breath to calm down. I must have had this bizarre dream because I was conscious of the fact Minobe was sleeping over next door. That had to be it. The dream I'd only just been having. Minobe's arms, torso, and head all crushed and ripped to pieces. The dream connected to reality. Now that was the shrillest scream of your life, my dude. Wow! The moonlight seeped into my room, revealing liberal splashes of blood painted all over. Scattered chunks of meat littered around. Among them included squashed arms, a severed torso. And just like that, in that dream, Minobe's crushed head lying right next to my pillow. Yeah, that's fair! I screamed at the top of my lungs and burst out of my room. I couldn't resist the fear engraved in my cell, shouting at me to flee from the scene of her death. It was only when I got outside that I realized I had to call for help. The voice actor has good screams of terror? Oh, he is killing it! All the voice actors in this game are fantastic. It wasn't me! I didn't do it! Though I was panicking, another part of me calmly assessed that I would be the prime suspect here. I don't know what happened. I had nothing to do with it. I couldn't have killed her. After all, Minobe was in Kiko's room. There's no way she could be in mine. Then how was I so sure that mutilated corpse strewn across my room was Minobe's? It wasn't me. It wasn't me! It couldn't be! I mean, there wasn't even a drop of blood on my hands. But all of that could wait. I had to call the police. Kiko! Kiko! Wake up! I pounded on the door to apartment 201. My phone was in my room, but I'd be damned if I ever went back there. But perhaps because I've been hitting it too hard, the door fell off its hinges. Just as I began worrying I'd broken it, the door fell into pitch black darkness. What? Did have any idea how? But there it was. Apartment 201 was a black space with nothing inside it. There was no sound. The door hitting the ground. It was simply swallowed into the bottomless darkness and faded without a noise. Almost like they'd only built the apartment complex's halls and forgotten to build Kiko's apartment. It was only then that I noticed what was wrong with the world. I was outside on the second floor of the complex. The complex doors, windows, walls, floor, and rails were all there. All of them were normal. All of them were there. But everything else was gone. The roads, telephone lines, houses lining the streets, all vanished without a trace. Everything apart from this apartment complex had been painted over with pure darkness. Only the dim shine of the fluorescent lamps illuminated this world. I'd believed that I'd returned from the world of nightmares to the real world. Wait, the real world? Uh-oh. Just then, I heard footsteps approaching. Someone was heading up the stairs to this floor. That someone was the shadow of a dark girl. A shadow so dark, not even the faint lamplight could illuminate it. A moment later, recognition came to me. That bizarre figure with long black hair and withered branches jutting out of their head had looked down on me in that nightmare world. Suddenly, something stuck out from within the shadow. It was a small Japanese doll that I'd seen somewhere before. Pale arms were holding it from within the shadow, and with a plop, the doll's tiny head fell off. Its arms and torso broke apart and followed suit, scattering at the shadow's feet. With that, the pale hand stuck out even further. A girl emerged from the shadow. I didn't mean that she was projecting the shadow. I meant she literally walked out from within it. I knew her. She stepped towards me, trampling over the scattered doll, and spread her hands out as if to embrace me. Oh, hi, Toei. Were you the one that saved my life? Sorta? Oh, great. The girlies are fighting over us. Delightful. Both Kurokami and the female shadow spread their arms. This was not the harem I wanted. Ah, the monkey's paw. The monkey's paw. We asked for girlfriends. We didn't specify that we wanted them to be green flags. And engulfed me. Obsessive yandere harem would be a fun concept. That is exactly what this is. Oh, hey! It's the end of the chapter. We've got the opening again. I think it's the exact same one, though, which is kind of dumb. Like, we don't need to see we don't need the exact same opening every chapter, but okay. I'm just skipping it. Oh my god. Well, I guess we'll pick this up here tomorrow. With my mouse. I'm gonna make your home squeaky clean. Can you come clean my house then? Iwaihime. Song Princess. Okay. So I guess this is Lillian that they were talking about? Alright. Wow. that's quite the transition there. Wow, funny how I was like, well, I can't go until 10:30, but then, like, you know, I saw we were so close to the end of the chapter, I'm like, alright, let's just finish this. What a night. There was something. Now I'm gonna have to go and put tags on the VOD, cause my goodness. Don't want anyone just catching up on this while they're at work without knowing what's coming. Stream summary, God. Yeah, stream summary is just, stream summary, yes. Stream summary, but then also do have to put some tags and stuff on, and like a warning on the actual VOD, because not everyone's on the Discord, but yes. Alright. Yeah, I'll do a stream summary before bed. Okay, guys, so tomorrow we are back to more, Iwaihime. Let me... Because I pulled up the summary. Okay. So technically there's like 3 more chapters. Something like that. Yeah, so there's Uta... The names of the chapters are Utahime, then there's Kizuato Hime, then there's gonna be Rokugami Hime, which I think is basically the truth and the backstory, and then we can pick all the different endings, so we'll probably play this again next week, but since I had already put it in the schedule that we're gonna be doing some different stuff on Saturday and Sunday, we will stick to it. But we will finish this because we are definitely more than halfway done. Alright. Bye-bye. See you next time. Yeah, see you next time. Let's... Ugh. Ow, my back's cracking. Junie's doing a sponsored stream by Capcom. That's cool. I'll send you over to Sere, because they're playing Umineko. I'll send you from one Ryukishi game to another then. Because as cool as it is, and I want to support Junie, that she's having a sponsored stream, she's playing Ace Attorney Investigations, and I don't want to be spoiled, because I haven't played the second Ace Attorney Investigations games, which is what she's playing. Alrighty, so I will send you off to Sere, DD Raid. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST for more Iwaihime. Alright, that's it for me. So, if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. If it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on off to bed. And until next time, take care of yourself. Hopes nobody falls into Wonderland Nightmares. God, please, no! Did I ever tell you guys I'm afraid of caterpillars? This has been a wonderful time for me, let me tell you. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna go hug my cats. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye.